You guys, it is hard to believe that the very first season of In the Dark is almost over, and we're talking all about it in our very special after show. You do not want to miss it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, AfterBuzzers? How's it going?
Hey.
We are on a different day today.
A little different.
Yeah. My name is Benny Adams. I am your host for today, and we have a very special guest with us, Keston John, who plays Darnell.
Yes.
And we are talking all about In the Dark and how this show has been amazing. Before we go even further, I want to introduce you to this amazing co-host of mine who is a lover of all drama shows. This is why she is on this show to talk about this awesome show, Miss Bethany.
Hey guys, Bethany Jean.
So we're going to talk a lot about just the whole season of this show. We're going to talk about the show overview. We're going to talk about your character and how your character's relationships evolved with other characters in the show. And then we're going to dive into some season 2 predictions. Like, what do you want to see with your character and other characters? But let's just get right into it.
Okay.
Season 1, almost over. Did you see this show becoming like what it is? It's pretty much groundbreaking on the CW because it's a show like no other.
Yeah. You know, it definitely isn't something that I would have seen from getting the script to knowing where it is now. It definitely has that feeling of something that is special, especially for their network. They're treating us like we're their next award-winning show, and so whether that's true or not,
you are.
It's beautiful.
You
really are.
True or not, it's beautiful.
Embrace it.
We're loving the love. So it's good.
It's awesome.
It's good.
What's have you gotten any like special feedback from the show from like your fans?
You know what? I haven't gotten a ton of feedback from the show other than just people really just connecting to the characters and really not just Perry's character Murphy, who, I mean, she's incredible.
Yeah.
But all the characters really just like, I love Callie, and I love Rich plays Dean. So, loving the characters. And someone reached out to me to say, I really just love Darnell's relationship with Jules. And I'm like, okay. All right. So it's not something that I would have expected, but yeah.
There are a lot of twists and turns in this show. Were you always caught off guard when you were like reading the scripts and you were finding out, this person didn't kill Tyson and, this person is hooking up with this person?
Yes. The writers kept us, not to pun, but they kept us in the dark. They honestly were, I mean, we'd be at a table read. One of the first big spins is that Jules and I are together.
Right.
And so at that table read, it was just like, what?
Yeah.
Everybody just was like, what?
That blew our minds.
Yeah. So yeah. Every time we got a script, it was like reading to be like, what's new and what's gonna be the twist, the turn, if there's going to be one in this episode. So,
Do you feel like you and Jules are kind of like the Montagues and the Capulets?
You know what? A little bit, like
a little bit like star-crossed lovers.
Yeah, 100%, because it's funny. You start playing a character and you don't, especially in TV, you don't always know what they're going to write in whatever episode that was, when we found out that they have been loving each other since they're 14. And you can go back and watch and be like, yeah, I still see that. So that was such a beautiful thing when they wrote that in. I was like, wow, we've been loving each other since 14. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks with what we've been doing, So, we definitely have that Romeo and Juliet thing going on.
Was it easy getting into that Romeo and Juliet type of vibe with her? Was it just like, oh, this is easy, like we're gonna just vibe like this?
Yeah, you know what? Saquon is just such a giving actor. Saquon plays Jules on the show, and she's a beast. I mean, as you've seen the show, she's Tony nominated actress.
Right.
So
She's amazing.
Yeah.
she is.
So
the whole cast is amazing.
yeah. So we connected pretty early on, and it from there it's just
I feel like usually when you watch, especially a drama series, there's usually one or two actors that you're like is the weakest link. Kind of like you're like, oh, they're not as believable, but I guess like that's a decent cast. Every person in this show is
amazing,
perfectly well cast and so well trained, and we have just been endlessly impressed with everyone's acting skill set.
Every episode, we're left with our jaws dropped.
Yeah.
We're either upset, we're happy, and that's what a good show is. To be able to like bring those emotions out.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this show. But going back to your relationship with Jules, you have a lot of special relationships. Can you go more in depth of what you think your character's relationship with Jules is?
Jules is the one that Darnell never wanted to let go. That even when he saw that we were going even when Darnell saw that Jules and he were going two separate directions, he just keeps holding on to hope that maybe they can figure it out. And you see that on the date they go on.
Right.
Let's just go somewhere where it can just be us. And I think Darnell has like an idealistic idea of what maybe they could be.
Right.
And knows in his heart that if he was ever caught with Jules, he'd be killed on his side, and she would. I mean, her career's over.
Yeah,
her career is basically over anyway.
Right,
so
right.
when because of what she did to save him. So it's a beautiful relationship. I mean, I think it's one of the only honest love connections on the show. Everybody else is like a little bit like, I don't know about Murphy and Max. I don't know. I think it's just I think it's like a hookup situation, but
hey, that'll be interesting.
Are you team Dean or team Max? You gotta answer it.
I am 1000% Team Dean. I'm sorry, guys.
Yes, I have someone on my team. I have someone on my team because on our after show, I am the only one that's for Dean and Murphy.
He's
everyone.
The good,
I'm Team Felix.
He's
personally.
the good. Felix and Murphy. That'd be great.
He's gonna swoop in.
Yeah. No, Dean's the good guy. He's the guy you end up with. Max is the guy you play around with. So.
I'm like Team Max. I've always been Team Max. But yeah.
Well,
you never know.
Yeah.
So your relationship, she bends over backwards for your character.
Yeah, she does.
So question for you. If the roles were reversed and you were in her position, your character was in her position and she was in your position, do you think Darnell would do the same thing for her?
Basically bend over backwards and put himself on the line. That's a good question. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm just, because in my world that means death.
Okay.
In Darnell's world, that means the end of his life and maybe family members' lives. It doesn't just, you know what I mean? Because, Nia's pretty cutthroat. You affect her business, you're affecting her livelihood. And so I don't think so. In her world, I think maybe the consequences are a little bit less.
Right.
So maybe she just loves Darnell a little bit more than Darnell loves her. But I think he loves her a lot. But I just don't know that he would put himself in his way like that.
Because you bring up a good point, because with her, if something happens, she gets fired, which obviously that's awful. She loses her career.
Right.
But with your character, he could potentially die.
Right.
So you have that dynamic to think about.
Likely.
Consequences are a lot
He would
worse.
likely die.
Yeah.
Is there a part of you that is just hoping that in the next season, Jules and Darnell will ride off into the sunset and just like leave the area and cut all ties?
That would be so incredible. That would, yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool, and get to leave. That's the you see that scene that Darnell has with Tyson earlier on, and so many people on Instagram and whatever were when Tyson asked to leave and Darnell says you can't. It wasn't to it wasn't. I don't. That scene wasn't to restrict him. It was to protect him. And I think that's you in that world. You once you sign up, you're in. There's no like, hey, I can leave now. And so Darnell steps in the way and is like, you're gonna be on the corner tonight, right? Because like I want you to be here. Like I want you to be in this world. And I try to stop you from being. I try to stop you from doing what I do. You know, but you wanted to be grown. You wanted to do what I do. So yeah, he did it. He tries to protect him.
Do you think that Darnell partially puts the blame on himself for Tyson's death?
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, that scene, there's a scene, I think it's, I forget what episode, but outside of the church with Darnell and Murphy, where he's just like, it's my fault. It's 1,000% his fault. It's funny, in my character like background, I was like, Tyson came to me. Once I said no. Twice I said no. 3 times I was like, all right, fine. And it's funny that Corinne was like right there with me. Like I didn't even say that to her, but it's in the writing that he kept begging me to sell drugs, and I let him because I wanted him to, you know, in that world, it's like, all right, well, I want to make some money too. I want to be able to buy some shoes. I want to be able to, you know, whatever. And so Darnell gives him that, ultimately his death warrant, but what he thinks is a hand up. So, and a help out.
Let's talk about you and Darnell and Murphy's relationship. I really like your guys' relationship because it really seems to be turning into a legit friendship. And it started out where he wanted nothing to do with her. Like
she was like a nuisance.
Exactly.
No.
Can you explain more with that evolution?
Yeah, it's been beautiful because I feel like you're absolutely right. It's like Murphy was always this thread that I feel like Darnell had to pull. Because why does he keep meeting with her? From the first episode, he's like, fine, I'll meet with this girl again. And she, to me, is just like, there's something about her. Even the way she stands up to Darnell in that first scene where he grabs her in the alleyway, that I think that he respects her from that. And so there's a little bit of respect there, but there's a little bit of like, get your life together, you know? Like I think in some ways, like she's a gnat, but he's also trying to help her in some way. Like, hey, like I know you had this relationship with my cousin. That's the only reason why I'm here. Right. You know, and then as it goes along, there's a lot more respect, a lot more respect that he has for her. She's taking care of her dog now. You know,
What? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how does it feel to play such a complex gray area character?
It's fun. It's fun because at the same time, I am so different with every single person. My relationship with Tyson is more of like less of a cousin and more of like a brother or a father in a way. And then at the same time, I get to be totally just cutthroat. Like when Jess is like, take him out of my trunk. You know, when it just comes to Wesley, it's like, no, we gotta go kill this dude. Like that's what it is. So, you know,
he's such a tough shell character. It's been interesting to see his gooey center kind of slowly be exposed. I think I mentioned the first episode of watching it that I was like legitimately frightened of Darnell's character.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, no, he's scary. And then it's funny to me. You're clearly a darling. Sweetheart. But
and one thing I did like was, you know, your character was very one-dimensional when it first started, but then, you know, we start to see
Nia.
more layers. Yeah, we can see more layers. What do you want to see more with your character in season 2?
Just continue to see his heart, because it's like what you guys were saying. It starts as this street guy, but he doesn't want to be there forever. And I hope that he'll be able to escape that life. That's the hope. He hopes that too. and ride off into the sunset. So, yeah, I mean, I hope they continue to explore that struggle between making money and kind of being this street guy and doing what is right, and kind of and getting to love who you love, you know, because that's right now that's the conflict. It's like either I'm this guy or I get to do this, and you know, so.
And it's interesting, the person who's making those decisions for you kind of is Nia.
Yeah.
What do you think is Darnell's relationship to Nia?
Nia to me is one of my aunties. You know, 100%. She's one of my aunties. She's that tough aunt who you respect and love, but you know will give you a whooping.
That's I never thought about it like that.
So
Different than your auntie that's Tyson's mom.
yeah, no, yeah, completely different. That's just love. She's like the mom that, you know, the mom that wasn't really there. So that's a different relationship. But yeah, Nia is I think Darnell he's scared of her.
Is there any backstory to Darnell that we don't know about that we're allowed to know about?
Backstory to Darnell. No, not that I mean, it's pretty much the backstory that I've written is pretty much all there on the page. There's some stuff that got cut about his mom and her needing surgery, like treatments for cancer, and that's why he got in. That's why he got in. But that was cut, and I think that maybe showed a little bit more of his heart and why he kind of started. So that would be something.
Is there anything about Darnell's character that resonates with you? Or that like you're learning things about yourself by playing him, or anything cool like that? Yeah,
it was interesting. Like we had our baby while we were filming the first episode.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
She's beautiful.
Thank you so much. And that nurturing side of me is there in Darnell. It's there when he talks to Tyson. He loves his family. And you know, I think those two kind of meld. Yeah.
And speaking about learning, what has this show taught you? What is because this show is it's geared towards the blind community. What has the blind community taught you?
You know what? Something Callie said, you know, that was very interesting at the TCAs. I don't know if this is something that I learned, but it's just we have to do more, I think, to not only get these stories out there, but to let people with disabilities like Callie know that, hey, like your dream is possible too.
Right.
And because she gave up on acting, and because when she went blind, and it the actress who plays Dean's daughter, and I think that I didn't know that, and I think that it's very important that we get to the place where we continue to try and give people with disabilities an opportunity. I mean, the producers really did in looking for the Murphy role, but there wasn't that actor who was as dynamic as Perry is, who could lead a show. And that's a cart before the horse kind of situation. Like, what do we... So I feel like if we work on those things and put people in places where, like, the actress who just won a Tony, that's a beautiful show of, like, wow, like, I can do that too.
Right.
And I think unless you see yourself, you really can't. Until I saw myself on screen, like, a version of myself, another black actor, I didn't think about acting, I don't think, so.
Okay. Yeah. We've agreed with this. We love the character Chloe.
Yeah.
She is amazing. Like every time we see her, we're like, yes, she's in this episode.
When she's not in an episode, we're like, where's Chloe?
What about her date episode where she's like,
I loved it, and the reason why I loved that episode,
outfit.
yes,
I was expecting the worst. I thought the guy was just gonna be like this complete douchebag,
Right.
and I loved how he was interested. He wanted to get to know her, and I'm like, thank you, God. Like this is so awesome. It was such a good story, and it didn't. I'm pretty sure a lot of people felt the same way, and I'm glad that they went against the norm, and that people are interested in people that have disabilities.
100%. Yeah.
We're actually seeing a really cool time in just social awareness, and I feel like In the Dark is at the forefront of something where they're shedding light, no pun intended, on a topic that doesn't get a ton of attention, and they're utilizing people from the community that it affects, and I hope it'll kind of snowball, and we'll see more of this.
Well, speaking of seeing more, let's talk about season 2 predictions.
Yes.
Do you know anything that I know you can't give us what's happening for season 2, but can you give us a little teaser of what to expect for season 2?
Oh man, if I give away anything that I know, it kind of ruins your finale, which is gonna be a doozy. That's all I could say. That's all I could say. You know what? My season 2 predictions is that I think for Murphy, I think she's just gonna keep going on this train of obsession that she's on right now. Brooke's character, I'm blanking on Jess has said it in another episode. You're addicted, and I think that addiction is going to continue in another light. So it won't be about Tyson anymore, but it'll be about like fixing it, or fixing her world, whatever that is. I think that's yeah.
We always wonder if she's going to somehow end up working with law enforcement, because she's just naturally a pretty great detective.
She's pretty damn good at it. I mean, she's better than she's better than
she's doing their job better than they are.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I mean that's a Darnell thing. They don't do their job according to Darnell. So like that's his that's his thing. So yeah,
that's really cool. Do you think because you guys are kind of like, your characters are kind of like I call you guys like the Scooby Gang.
Yeah.
You guys are all together. You're solving this mystery.
Yeah.
In season 2, are you guys still going to be working together?
Well, first of all, I hope Darnell gets out of jail.
Yeah.
Gets out of jail.
That would be good.
Know what I mean?
That would be very good.
If obviously, I mean, at this point, I mean, I can't say whether or not he's innocent or guilty, but I can say that I hope that he gets out of jail.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I those episodes are so fun. Working with like Jess and Max, and I mean that was so fun, where we hit Wesley with the rock. Like, if we could have more of those episodes, like everybody loved that episode. The CW, everybody from top down was just like, it was just so dynamic and fun. It's always fun when you throw the worlds together.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna see. I can say this. I think the worlds are gonna be slammed together.
Okay.
So that's a lot. You're gonna see a lot more of the I think I might have more scenes with Morgan's character.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Love Felix around here.
Felix is hilarious. I mean, Morgan's hilarious. He's one of my favorite actors.
Well, we definitely cannot wait to see. I can't wait for the finale. First off, I'm already
I feel almost nervous.
Yeah,
I'm like, what
same here.
is going on? It's freaking us
Right.
out so much.
Let's talk a little bit about what you're doing outside of In the Dark.
Sure.
So I was looking on your IMDb page, and I saw that you are going to be in the next 3 installments of Avatar.
At least
three.
Yeah.
So cool.
Can you give us any scoop about what the movie is gonna be about, or your character? Or...
I mean, literally, just. I mean, and I obviously can only say what's already out there. It's gonna be about the kids. It's gonna be about, Zoe and Sam's kids, and it's
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so you're gonna see a lot more tribes. You're gonna see a lot more of the world of Avatar, and so yeah.
Are
Cool thing to
you
be part of.
are you guys still currently filming for the one that's coming out soon, or is it?
So we did 2 and 3 together.
Okay.
And we did all the stuff in the main soundstage, where we do film the world of Avatar. So we did that portion. Now they're in New Zealand doing the live action.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they kind of shoot that stuff separately to, obviously there's practicals that they can shoot in New Zealand and don't have to like make in a computer.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other projects that you want to tell your fans about?
Yeah, I mean Shira. I play Hordak on Shira. He's like the main bad guy, and you mean to tell me this is this is a voice you mean to tell me that you have not done what I asked?
That was great.
He's like
a great villain
booming villain. Yeah, and then there's some other things coming out.
That reminded me. I loved when we went and caught Brooke's rendition of Hamlet.
Yes.
I loved that they called out both you and Casey and just handed you guys scripts. You were great.
You know what? I was just like,
yeah,
thank
you guys
you.
were nailing the Hamlet.
Thank
so
you.
was Casey. You guys were both awesome.
Yeah. I actually played Laertes in college.
Very nice.
So you've had some
Very
practice.
nice.
Yeah.
I could tell. tell you had Shakespearean practice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
All right. Well, Keston, thank you so much for coming on to talk with us about this whole season. It's definitely been an amazing season. I can't wait to see the finale, and I can't wait to see more of season 2.
Yeah.
So that's going to be amazing. Why don't you go ahead and tell your fans where they can find you on social media?
Find me at Keston John on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
And I am your host, Benny Adams. You can find me everywhere on social media at Benny J. Adams.
And I am Bethany Jean. You can find me at Bethany Jean Official on IG.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
Boom.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.